You can start recording. Start. Go ahead.
Life gets better when mental health becomes your first priority. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Hari Prashant from Second Year Aerospace Department. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you all to the 201st meeting of Amrita Toastmasters Club. Let me introduce the rules. First, there should be no talk about sex, politics, or religion. Second, the speakers are requested to keep their video and audio on. Third, the audience can keep their video on, but they are asked to keep their mics off unless called upon. Now, let me hand over the stage to the most enthusiastic presiding officer, Toastmaster Bhavesh. Over to you, Bhavesh.
Good evening, all. So this is the first offline meeting that we are trying to have here. I hope most of you know that we planned for a hybrid meeting. Today we had it in the playground, and tomorrow we'll have it in the room. So, anyways, so what we did today was we had an OTP today morning, and most of our members attended that OTP. What we learned is really valuable, and we all had different experiences. I hope most of you attended from this session. If you guys have any doubts regarding the OEP or regarding any particular training that you had, feel free to reach out to me and I can help you connect to those contacts. So without any further ado, let me pass on the stage to Toastmaster Kaushalya, who will be the general evaluator for the day. Over to Toastmaster Kaushalya.
So I'll be the general evaluator for today's meeting. As a general evaluator, the purpose as a general evaluator, I'll be evaluating everything that happens in today's meeting. During the meeting, I take note of everything that happens and doesn't happen. I'll take note of the meeting programs and how the participants present their roles, the organization, delivery, enthusiasm, and the observations of the activities. And at the end of the meeting, I should present my results. But before that, I'd like to call my tag team. First, I'd like to call the timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Hari Prashant.
Yeah, just go ahead with your script.
Greetings once again. I'll be the timer for today's meeting. As timer, I'll be noting the time for each what each speaker takes. For example, if it's a prepared speech session, it's a 5-minute speech. I'll be yellow. And table session, it will be on 1.5 minutes. I'll be 2 minutes. I'll be short. For individual evaluation session, it will be 2 to 3 minutes. On 2 minutes and on 3 minutes, I'll be showing the red card. Looking forward to your, hearing your speech. I'll be submitting my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
I kindly request everybody to pin Toastmaster Hari Prasant's video. This, screen cards are a bit small. We'll try our best, but try pinning Hari Prasant's video as early as possible.
Next up, we have the R counter for today's meeting, Toastmaster Pooja. Over to you, Toastmaster Pooja.
Greetings to one more present here. Today, my job as an art counter is to count the number of filler words that you may use while speaking. And you know, these are some examples of filler words. So I'll be presenting my report at the end of the meeting. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pooja. Next, I would like to call our grammarian for today's meeting, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Kaushalya. So, as the grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay attention to the close attention to all the speakers, listen carefully of their language usage, and I'll take note of misuses of English language as well as the outstanding usages. So, as the grammarian, it's my duty to introduce you to the word of the day and phrase of the day. So, for today, the word of the day is bug. B-U-C-K, bug. B-U-C-K, bug. So, bug means to oppose or resist. Buck means to oppose or resist. Example, both employees were later fired for trying to buck the system. Both the employees were later fired for trying to buck the system. So I'll keep the word of the day and example in the chat box. And I would request everyone to, I encourage everyone to use the word of the day and appreciate the participants, like whenever they hear the word of the day, to just show any encouragement symbol or thumbs up symbol so that they can get motivated. Over to Toastmaster Kaushalya.
Thank you so much all. In this meeting, present the detailed report and evaluation. So now, the next we have the table topic session by Toastmaster Ganesh. I call upon Toastmaster Ganesh to present the table topics.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kaushalya. As the TTM, it's my role for you to give impromptu speech topics, and you'll take 1 to 2 minutes to come up with your speech and finish your speech by 2 minutes. You'll be given a buffer of 2 minutes 30 seconds. So that'll be the table topic session. Toastmaster Srinidhi, who was the previous table topic master, wasn't able to join today, so I'll be substituting her for the day. The theme that I've chosen for today is ghosts. Why? Because I'm in hostel and the hostel is pretty haunted, and I feel it's haunted. So I'm going to go with the topic. Is there any volunteers who would like to go ahead with the first topic? Awesome. We have Toastmaster Kushagra, who is ready to present the first topic. Toastmaster Kushagra, your topic would be, if you were a housekeeper for ghosts, what would you charge them as rent?
Sorry to interrupt, but then
Good afternoon to one and all present here. On what to? The topic
Once again. Toastmaster Kaushal, can you confirm if Toastmaster Kushagra is visible?
is visible, but then there's a lot of lag between the video and audio. I think there's some network issue.
Okay. What SIM card are you using? Okay, that's the best one we got.
I think it's fine
here.
now. Yeah.
Okay. Can you like wave your hand? Talk and wave your hand.
Toastmaster, yes.
Is it okay? Huh?
Toastmaster, yes. Can you just confirm if it's
Yeah, even for me, it's lagging, both the audio and the video.
I think it's lagging.
We'll do one thing. Right now, Toastmaster Kushagra will have only an audio system. We'll quickly come back to the video system.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Kushagra, please start.
Audio is
Audio is
not lagging.
no, there is no lag in audio.
They can confirm us if the audio is lagging.
No problem. They won't know. No problem. Go ahead.
Okay. So the topic to repeat, since we had a few seconds gap, it was how will I, if I am a housekeeper in a ghost hostel or something, then how will I charge them? So see, it will be completely on my mood. Suppose if I want to have fun, I will be very interested in going to people's room and telling the ghost to scare them so that I can have fun and record their reactions at the point of time how they are scared and later have fun with them and as a memory. And later, if suppose as a ghost keeper, if all around the ghost, it won't be like I have to give them a specific routine or I have to give specific food. So it will be a inverse mirror world. Like they will be living at night time instead of daytime, and at night going taking the whole team of hostels.
Hello. Am I audible, Toastmaster Kaushalya? Yeah, thank you. We have a bit of video system problem on our side, so we'll just go with the audio system from this end. So, is there any volunteer who would like to volunteer for the second topic? Okay, I wish to call Toastmaster Priyadarshini. Would you like to volunteer for this topic?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
It'll be great if you can turn your camera on. None of us are able to do that. So, your topic would be, if you're a teacher in a school full of ghosts, what will be your syllabus for them to teach, for you to teach?
I hope I'm audible and my voice is clear. So yeah,
Yes.
ghost is like I have lots of experience in this ghost and all those things and all because I have been in hostel in my 9th and 10th and my room number was 13. So my room number is considered as very scary thing because lots of incidents has been taken place already there. And now coming to my part, what will I teach ghost? Okay, I will try to teach them like how not to scare others because in my hostel I have seen like we are getting scared and we are not able to sleep properly during nights and all because of very bad experiences. So I'll teach them like how to be good to others and how to be like good with others. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priyadarshini. I hope my video is visible. Right? All right. So now this is my question. You are a ghost, but you did not transform into a ghost that can transport yourself. You turned into a ghost like a plant. You're installed in one particular place. What are you going to do to keep your business up? Would anybody like to volunteer for this topic? I know the topic is crazy, but please come on, guys. All right. I request Toastmaster Grishma to take the topic. Are you ready, Toastmaster Grishma?
Yeah, um, actually, it is pretty weird considering the main aim. I mean, the main thing that a ghost has to do is to fly around. Okay, if I were a ghost that is not moving, what would I do to keep up my business? Uh, I don't know. Maybe do I have the chance that I can call someone? Maybe I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll let everyone get with me. I'll ask if there's a chance that they can move. I'll ask them to do the things that I wanted to do. Um, that is the only thing I can think of now. Yeah. So for that, I guess we need to have a telephone service for ghosts as well. So I guess I'll be working on that.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Grishma. Would anybody else volunteer for the last topic for this particular session? We will have another table topic session for another 10 minutes for after the prepared speech session. Right now, we'll have a last topic. Would anybody like to volunteer for this particular topic? Toastmaster Shyam, would you like to volunteer for this topic?
Sure.
Okay, the entire group here wants you to talk, so we'll be really happy if you can. All right. So you're a ghost now. You have a really super special power. So you'll have to use only this power to haunt other people or scare other people. And this power is to clean the place. So how will you scare somebody by just cleaning places? Over to you,
Okay.
Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Boys. That's a different topic, of course. If I was to have only that superpower, well, if any of you know Monica from the Friends show, I'm sure that I'll haunt her by rearranging her room and after she has cleaned the room, so that she will go mad by cleaning the house repeatedly. And I'm sure she will not be happy with my behavior because she really likes to keep her room very clean and neat. And I'll also try disturbing the occupants of the room by changing the room's position and other things in the night when they sleep. So when they wake up in the morning, they won't recognize that this is the room they slept in. Other ways, I think this is not much of a way this can be make others scared. But I'm sure this can scare people when I do it in the night time when they are asleep. And yeah, thank you.
You're not audible, Bhavesh.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Shyam, for that creative take on the topic. We have time for another topic, so we'll go with one last topic for this particular session. Toastmaster Venumadhav here is ready to volunteer for this particular topic. Toastmaster Venumada, would you like to conclude? Come on in, Toastmaster Venumada. Come to stage. The marching is that. So Toastmaster Venumada, you are a ghost right now, and
Okay.
you've been charged screams to pay your rent the person, but nobody's coming to your haunted house.
Yeah.
How are you gonna earn, and how are you gonna keep your business up?
Okay, I'm a ghost. If I am a ghost, what should I do?
You have to keep your business up, but nobody's occupying your haunted home.
Okay. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I'm Venu Madhav. So finally, I'm a ghost, and I need to make people to buy my house, haunted house, so that I can do my business of haunting people. Firstly, I need to have some incentives given to them. For example, I'll say there is no ghost at all in the house, but and also I'll give some. I'm very much interested in students to scare them off, especially kids, because they are the people who feel very insecure, and when they are not present under any guidance of their parents, I can scare them very easily. For example, in a movie called It, mostly kids are targeted by the ghost. So even here, I'll be targeting kids first of all. To do so, there'll be some PG hostels available outside college, outside college. So what I'm doing is that I'll be attracting them by saying that this is near to your college, so you can get into this PG hostel. So I'll be attracting these small kids, and I'll be able to scare them off easily. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venumada. That will be the end of my table topic session. I hand the stage over back to General Evaluator Toastmaster Kaushalya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bhavesh. Next, I would like to introduce our speaker for today's meeting, distinguished Toastmaster Vani Shri. She's been a Toastmaster for 5 years, and she's currently working in TCS as an IT consultant, IT analyst. She's a past area director and currently the Division G parliamentarian. I would like to welcome distinguished Toastmaster Vani Shri. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, General Evaluator, for that wonderful introduction. Hope my voice is completely audible, right?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah. Okay, then. Let me share my screen. Okay. Hope my presentation is visible, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, then. Thank you so much. Once again, very good afternoon to all the Toastmasters present here. Myself, DTM Vanishri. Today, I'm here with you to tell about the parliamentary procedure and the rules, how we are going to follow. I know many of you guys will be surprised to know this one because this is the first time where we are started elaborating about the parliamentary procedure to each and every club, because previously also it was there, but still we were not that much implemented, but still we thought we have to bring in each of the club meetings, like everybody should know what are the procedures and the rules. We do follow it. It is I can say you like this parliamentary procedure, it will be like a business term, I can say, in a terminology, where in a business meetings definitely there should be some rules and the procedure how we used to follow it. In the similar way, even in our club meetings we expect like some of the rules we have to follow it. Okay. The current presentation which I'm showing was like this was prepared by DTM Shivraj, because he was the one who trained all of us, and I'm going to reuse the same presentation to you as well. So I would like to give the credit to DTM Shivraj only for this presentation. Okay, first coming to what are the parliamentary procedures and the rules or orders that are intended. First of all, we have to maintain the decorum and ascertain the will of the majority to pursue the rights of the minority to facilitate the orderly transaction of business. I'll come to the definitions of each one, what it means. What do you mean by decorum? What is the majority, minority? What we are going to facilitate in an orderly transaction of the business? You guys can correlate like how exactly any business meeting is going to be held. This is the same thing which I'm going to explain you today. Coming to the basic definitions of each of the one. What is a quorum? The minimum number of members required to transact a business. See, for example, for any kind of a meeting, we expect the members to be present. That is audience. Without an audience, we cannot present any kind of a meeting. So the quorum means minimum number of members required to transact the business. Next, constitution. These are all the terminologies which we are using, but the meaning will always remain the same. An organization's fundamental governing principles. See, every business meeting in any organization differs. It doesn't mean that every organization has to follow the same set of rules and procedures. No, it differs to each organization and it differs for each club meeting. When it comes to club, it differs to area from area to division, division to district. So it differs in all the levels. And bylaws. Okay. Bylaws means standard rules governing an organization's internal affairs. See here, there will be a bylaws as well. Some of the laws also has been implemented for this kind of business meetings. In the further slides, I'm going to show you even that as well. Standing rules, main motion. Standing rules is nothing but details concerning administration of the organization. So when we have some of the rules, we have to make those rules as a standardized one. So that's where we call it as standing rules. And the main motion. In our club meetings, motion is the one which is a very important aspect that we have to follow it. The formal proposal that an action to be taken, that is the main motion. Here the motion, who is going to take the first and who will be the second that motion. So that is what the very important. And in the motion, there are different kinds of motions are also available. I'll show you that as well. Guys, you can stop me at any way if you feel that I'm going too fast. Next, coming to the presiding officer, meeting leader who sees that rules are observed. For example, in the club meeting, who is the main? Presiding officer is the main person who is going to monitor the complete meeting. Okay, so that's where the main motion comes from the presiding officer and later it goes with the club members. Next, coming to the constitution, we are having different sections under different articles. Each article has been defined in a different terms. Here, the Article 4 and Section 1 and 2, we are having different sections. They have been categorized into simple sections here. Regular meetings of this club, which shall include in any business meeting of active individual members, shall be held as provided in the addendum. So, whatever regular meetings, what we are doing in the club, we all, the thing we have been standardized, like we have to follow in this section only. For example, SAA starts the meeting, then secretary is going to read the minutes of meeting or whatever. Each club follows different way, right? So that is called as a regular meetings of the club that has been and also that has been provided in the addendum. Special business meetings. When it comes to a special business meetings, we have to check with all the club members, and also the club executive committee is also will take the decision. See, when we are having a preceding officer, so and so next week we are planning to have a themed meeting or any joint meeting or any kind of a special meeting is there. So then we need to have the consent from the members as well, because just like that we are not going to take a decision and then we are not going to implement it, right? In the similar way, so what was the first thing is like preceding officer put his or his word like okay, let's have in the next coming week or next coming month. Then club executive committee will also take the decision like, okay, we are also fine, then we can go ahead and we can discuss with the audience. So the majority vote will be from the individual members. See, at the end of the day, we need the audience, that is the members of the club, to agree for that consent to go ahead for the next level, next set of whatever special meeting, whatever kind of a meeting, or if you want to implement anything. So we want from the individual members consent, then only we are going to take the priority of that one, and then we are going to implement it. That is what this article says over here. Next, coming to Article 5, Section 1 and quorum. Here, as I already told, quorum is nothing but the individual members, those are present in particular meeting. Here this says the same. The majority of the active individual members shall constitute a quorum for the transaction of all business of this club. A majority of the club executive committee shall constitute a quorum for the transaction of the committee's business. See here, not only preceding officer, along with preceding officer, club executive committee also plays a majority of the role here in taking the decisions along with the individual members. So each and everybody is getting an opportunity to choose their own concerns. I mean, whatever they wish to tell, they can do it. I mean, they can say like, okay, we don't like doing in this particular way. Maybe we can change and do it in the other way. See, every individual has that freedom to discuss also with the preceding officer and also the club executive committee. Next, coming to the other Article 8, Section 2. Here comes the club executive. What the club executive does, all actions of the executive committee shall be submitted to the club at the next business meeting for the ratification. See, once the decision is finalized, executive committee will be submitting in the next coming business meeting. See, for every meeting, we revise what happened in the last meeting, and we always take the feedback from the guest and audience, right? Once every meeting is done. So in the similar way, we have to implement in the next coming meeting. So that is what it is telling here. Any decision of the executive committee which this club fails to ratify shall be null and void. See, whenever you fail to implement that particular action item which you have been taken up from the last session for the next coming session, if it is not implemented, then it becomes a null and a void. That is not at all a valid point there. Okay, if you're not implementing it, then definitely you have to take ahead for the next coming session, and you have to tell in the that particular session that we are not able to implement it, so we are taking ahead for the next coming session. Next, coming to the business meeting, these are all like a procedures, like what and all, what a quorum does, what the executive committee does, what a preceding officer does, and are all those like a very basic thing which we always follow. Some of us, few rules we might be following, few other things we may not be following, and each of the club differs, as I already mentioned. What exactly happens in a particular meeting? Correlate this with your club meeting or any joint area meetings or a division or a district. See, business meeting, transact club business. Members discuss about club operations, progress, and future actions. See, what our club currently is doing it, what we can progress it, and what are the future action items. See, action items. So these are all comes like, it's not about like only a presiding officer starts this discussion or whatever these discussions. No, it can be from the members as well. They can discuss like, why? Because we are the members, like we attend multiple meetings whenever we get a time. As now it became an online, so we do attend multiple meetings, right? So we can see the difference, what our club is doing, what the other club is doing. If you find something innovative way, you can brought in and you can discuss in your club meeting. That is what, like what you are currently operating, what you are going to progress, and what are your future action items. Ratify executive committee decisions or actions. So you always should accept, or you have to give your consent for the executive committee decisions, whatever they have taken. Because executive committee, all of its 7 members will have a discussion, and then they'll be bringing to the notice to the club members. How are you going to get benefit of all this? Transparency. I want to say why transparency is very important. Like, see, when you are having a transparency in any kind of a meeting, then you really understand what is happening in the club and what are the action items we are going to take it. When your club executive committee is not disclosing anything to the club members and they are directly putting their action item, then definitely club members will get so much of a messy and they'll not understand. They think like, why committee members they didn't discuss us. If they would have discussed, and if there was a complete transparency, and if you have followed all the rules whichever I mentioned previously, then definitely that becomes a very smooth business meeting or any smooth club meeting for particular day. So that is where, if you follow all the rules and if you have a discussion with all the members, then what we are going to benefit is transparency and ethical practice. Once we start practicing, and that becomes an ethical practice, interest of members are protected. So we are taking the members' decision as well. Actions of executive committee members are protected. So each and every member's decisions are being taken into a consideration. So these are all comes under the benefits. Standard order of business. As I can correlate with your today's meeting, how you guys have started your meeting today, the similar way each club differs, like how they want to standardize their own club meetings. First one, call to order. Like you are going to start the meeting, like you are going to set an agenda of the particular meeting today. And then secretary reads the previous minutes of meeting, that is called as a mom. I don't think so nowadays we have, not nowadays, we were not following this secretary, this mom in our club meetings currently. Maybe we can start practicing this as well, because the one who are not present in the last meeting also, if the person, he or she is attending the current meeting, they'll be understanding what happened in the previous meeting and they can correlate with the current meeting. Then members have to approve the MOM. They have to give the consent, then yes, we agree to the MOM. And if you find any kind of a discrepancy, you can tell that then we found this kind of discrepancy. And then club officers report, standing committees report, and the next steps and all will not be happening in our current club meeting. This all happens in the division and district levels. Special committee report, because for the division and district we do have the parliamentarians, so they'll be having their own standing committee reports and special committee report, and all the executive committee will be present over there, so they'll be giving their own reports then. Next, still the order follows: special order, new member induction, nomination, election, installation of club officers. Again, I'm saying you guys, this is not for the particular club meeting. In and all, overall, I'm saying about when it comes to division and district level as well, I'm telling. So this will be the order of the business. I can correlate this special order like new member induction. Whenever a new member joins to our club, we do induction for them, right? That is called as a new member induction. We have to do that. and we have to take the pledge so that even member will be aware of the club members, and also the club members will get the introduction about the new member. So new member induction is very important that we have to follow. And the next one is nomination and election. This only happens for 6 months, and some of the clubs they'll be doing for the yearly also, that's fine. But most of the corporate clubs does for the 6 months. So this is for the nomination for the elections. Once the elected candidates are there, then they'll go for the club officers installation. But prior to that, there will be a lot of things will be happening to get elected, because election officer will be there, and who is going to conduct the elections from their secretary, announcers. So that procedure is again different, but even that will be included in this special standard order of business. Once the elected officers are there, we have to do the installation of the club officer. Now currently we all know like OTP is happening, that is called officers training program. Here all the area directors will be installed. Installation will be done for all ADs. Usually that happens for yearly for ADs and DDs and district directors. But when it comes to club officers, that happens for the 6 months. So they can do it in their own meetings itself. Next, old business, new business, what set of a business you are following, those and all. And then joining. How this is called as a closing or giving your remarks. Usually for our club meetings, our presiding officer gives the closing remarks. Now, as I was speaking about the motion, right, here comes. There are 6 steps in handling a main motion. Let me show you all. Okay, members make a motion. Another member seconds the motion. See, for example, one person starts saying that we can implement this one. For example, from the next coming meeting onwards, we shall have in our, for example, I'm telling, from the next coming session, we can include, along with the TTE topics, we can include Joke Master at the beginning of the session. Why Joke Master? In the sense like to grab the attention of the audience. I'm telling for the example. So in the club, there will be 20 members or 15 or like odd or even, whatever members might be there. So one member has been proposed this motion and another member seconds the motion. If anybody likes that opinion of him or his one, whatever he told about the Joke Master, if you like, then you can second the motion. Yes, I do second for that motion. So even member gets a chance. And the third one, presiding officer places motion before the group. So presiding officer is the one at the end, he or she is going to finalize it, because that again based upon the majority of the votes. Motion is open for the debate. Yes, you can agree for it or you can disagree. You can have a debate also. One person says okay, the others goes for the against, and then you can have a debate also can be happening. And the motion is put to a vote. So if everybody is accepting, that's well and good. If no, then they'll go for the voting session as well. Like how many votings is having in the majority and how many is having the minority. Based upon the majority, presiding officer calls out the motion. At the end, like as I told you, presiding officer is the one who announces the result. These are the chart of motions. Like we are having different kinds of emotion. For each motion, whether we do require a second or we don't want, because we are having 23 motions here. It is not mandatory that you have to follow all 23 motions here. At least 10 to 12 you have to follow the motions. For example, call for the orders of the day. See, we have to follow this one, calling of the order. For every meeting, the call of the order should be followed. And then you have to put in your original main motion, postpone identity, amend, refer to committee. So these are all the things which we are following, but we don't know the exact term for which one we are going to use which motion exactly. Okay, these are the different kinds of emotion which we do follow it. at the division as well as the district level as well. And also even in the club meetings, if you are fine, you can go ahead and you can do it. That is up to your wish. Yeah. That's it from my end. Guys, if you have any questions from your end, you can put on me. If I know, I'll definitely answer to you, or else I'll get back with you again by speaking with DTM Shivraj as well. I could see so silence.
The session was.
Stop my share. Yeah, guys, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'll share with you, share this presentation to Bhavesh so that he can share with you guys. You can have a go through of that one. If you are having any kind of doubts, you can reach out to me always.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then. If no questions, I can wind it up.
Enlightening session to give us a lot of information on the parliament. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to thank Bhavesh for this. Thanks for the opportunity, Bhavesh.
Thank you for coming, ma'am.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, we have the prepared speech session. We have the first speaker, Toastmaster Grishma, to present her icebreaker. Before calling her, I would like to call her individual evaluator, Toastmaster Rupa, to present her Toastmaster Grishma's project purpose.
Right off.
Wait.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kausalya. My target speaker, Toastmaster Grishma, will be attempting her very first project in Toastmasters today, Level 1, Project 1, the Icebreaker. The objective of this project is for Toastmaster Grishma to present a 4 to 6 minute speech in which she'll be introducing herself to the club. All the very best, Toastmaster Grishma. Over to Toastmaster Kausalya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rupa, for that brief introduction. Multiverse, Toastmaster Grishma. Toastmaster Grishma, Multiverse.
One of the most exciting topics to speculate about is the idea that our reality, our universe, the way it is, the way we experience it, might not be the only versions of it out there. Perhaps there are other universes, perhaps even with different versions of ourselves, different histories, and alternate outcomes than our own. It's an incredible notion that there is a world out there for every option that is conceivable. There is one where everything with a non zero probability of having happened is actually the reality in that universe. Think of it this way: me being me, the same me that is part of this Toastmaster giving her icebreaker, might be an impossible event somewhere out there. But this is the choice I made, and the parallel me did not. So, good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guests. Today, I'll be giving my icebreaker speech, which is a chance for me to introduce myself. For those who don't know, my name is Grishma, and like all of you, my past experiences and choices have made the person I am today. Chances are there that these choices were not even made by the parallel me because I have made them. I am here today because I am hopeful that this particular experience will make me a better person tomorrow. Growing with typical Indian parents, I was always reminded of the fact that you never had to question elders. I was told everything happens for your own good. Seems wrong, right? But no, you should not question your elders. But it was okay because I was still a child. I'll put that in air quotes because I think I still am a child mentally. But things were getting along, it was okay. Certain events like getting a fever was considered good because you get to skip school. I am not saying that I like to skip school. I'm just saying that that could have happened. It was considered good. And mind you, still no questions asked. My school life was good and everything in between. It was just normal school things, few events here and there, nothing to complain and nothing to share. But after school, there is, unlike until now, I never had to look back on the choices I've made because simply everything worked out. And also, I was told everything happens for your good. No questions here, also. But then again came the most daunting crossroad that every student had to face. What is that? Any guesses? It might, it, well, it was for me that I had to choose what stream I had to study further and what I had to do in my future. Till 10th, it was all fun and games. Now came the most important part of my life, and I had to choose it. I had no other options but then to see all the choices that I had. But then, of course, I chose what every other Indian student chooses, engineering. And here I am. After school, 10th, after school, things have been particularly hard because school pretty much everything worked out and I never had to question the choices I made. But now, well, I was in the competitive world, I had to question what choices I have made. It would be a white lie if I had to tell you that I wasn't scared of what was coming at me and what was going to happen. I had many sleepless nights thinking about what I would do. Things were hard. I had given my best and maybe more than that, but nothing really changed. Um, Nothing really changed, but I had the courage to do a lot of hard work, and finally I began to see things in a different light. Just a side note, amidst the confusion and chaos, I found few gems, I would say. One of them would definitely be books, and they still are with me. Like it was a mere hobby before that, but now it had become the most essential things to keep me sane. The other gem that I found was post-rock. That made me realize that this struggle had some meaning. Now that I have successfully put the past behind me, I could say things sort of worked out, not the way I wanted, but they have. I have learned few things and I have gained a lot of knowledge and strength to face whatever will come next. So, what does this mean for me now that I am in this universe and not any other parallel verses that are present there? It means to me to make this universe count, make the choices that leave me with no regrets, take the dream job, stand up for myself, navigate through the pit holes as best as I can. And I hope that I will go out every day and be proud of myself. There is no other universe that will have this me with the choices that I have made and the regrets that I have had and the lessons that I have learned. With that, I'll hand the mic back to General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Grishma. Next, we have Toastmaster Shyam to present his level 1 project 2. Before we call Toastmaster Shyam, I would like to introduce Toastmaster Mridula, his general evaluator, to present his target speakers for this.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kausalya. A very good afternoon to one and all present here, and a special one to my target speaker, Toastmaster Shyam. And timer, please note that the time limit for this. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I continue.
Yeah. Timer, please note that the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best, Toastmaster Shyam. Over to you, Toastmaster Kausalya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mridula. Learn, learning, and learned. Toastmaster Shyam. Learn, learning, and learn.
Am I visible? Now am I
Yeah,
visible? Okay, thank you. Learn, learning, and learned. So it's a sunny afternoon, and you're sitting in the third row of your classroom, and you just had a great lunch. It was the lunch filled made by your mom, and it was a biryani. You had your heart full, and you are just enjoying it. You're sitting in the third row, listening to your English teacher talking about grammar and the importance of punctuation. And your eyes close, one by one, each eyelid close. And before you know it, you're deep asleep. And then, before you know it, the class is over, and you don't know what happened in the class. Well, I'm sure all of the story is common to all of you. And I'm sure all of you would have experienced this at least once in your life. So, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Here I am to talk about why education should be made fun. So, coming to the story, I'm sure all of this, the story would have resonated with all of you. And why is that? Because the story is something which resonates with all of you because our education system is flawed at its core. We emphasize rote learning over understanding and engagement. And why do we do that? Well, that's what I'm here to talk about. So to make education fun, we should have various ways to do it. And I want to start off by talking about engagement. So to make education and fun, we need to have an engaging classroom experience for the students. And to make the education system fun and engaging, we need to create activities and other such things like by asking questions. Though questions are very rudimentary, there are other ways which I can create attention and engagement amongst the students, like how I started today's speech by starting with a story. By starting with a story, I make everyone curious and make everyone listen to the story and I make everyone to listen and understand the story so that I make everyone connect with me with that story. And by connecting with everyone, I make them attention. I get their attention to the story. By doing so, I get their engagement. And with that, you can do it. And then there are other ways to create engagement with the students, like how our club mates are having the meeting physically in the club, in the campus. By doing that, you get a fresh air. You make everyone. It's a great new way to engage this classroom, and that's just one of the different ways you can do it. And now see how I just made everyone listen to the story. I gave questions. I gave an example of how everyone is actually doing it, and this is just one of the ways you can actually get engagement in the classroom. But I'm sure there are more creative ways and more innovative ways which you can do it in the future. Then there's another way, creativity. Instead of just having the very boring and monotonous lecture by the teacher, you can have other ways, such as having a fun-filled activity session. I'm not talking about any great activities. Like let's take for example an history class. Let's take for example Mahatma Gandhi salt walk. In that we can, instead of just having the history teacher just give a monotonous lecture talking about how Gandhi and giving the important dates and making everyone memorize those dates, we can just have a role play session where all the students talk, play their roles and play Gandhi, and then in that way the students actually get to learn the dates by enacting it in front of the classroom. By doing so, they actually remember that because they will remember their roles, and when the test comes, they will actually remember it. And this will just lead to a better learning experience for students. By doing so, the students actually learn and actually get to know better things. So coming back, there are other ways to actually improve the engagement in the classroom, and that is by improving the policies. Our current education policy emphasizes more on rote learning and less on engagement and activity-based learning. And that is one of the ways which we should actually change the education system, as this will actually remove the importance from rote learning and marks to actually having a fun-filled session where students are actually learning and actually remembering what they learn in the classroom. By doing this, they actually learn, engage with the teachers, and actually remember what they learn in the classroom. By doing this, not only do the students remember the facts, learn it, but they also get to engage with the teachers and have a better relationship with the teachers. And this also leads to a better fulfillment for the teacher, as they know they did a better job. And then coming to the end of the speech, I like to conclude the speech by telling that by making a better foundation for the students by having a better learning experience. And when you have a better foundation, you have a better building. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shyam. Next, we have the second part of the table topic session. With that, I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Bhavesh to carry on with the second TT session. Over to you, Toastmaster Bhavesh.
Thank you all. Would anybody like to volunteer for the first topic? Hi, Sashank. As you're a new member, why did you start this particular session? Hello, Sashank. Come on, bro. You're next to my room. I'll come and catch you there. Okay. Would anybody else like to volunteer? Okay. Let me call upon Pooja from here. Hi, Pooja. Okay. How do ghosts celebrate Halloween? How do ghosts celebrate Halloween? Over to Toastmaster Pooja.
Everyone. So how do ghosts celebrate Halloween? So, okay. So if they celebrate Halloween, probably they would wear all weird ghost costumes, and probably they get help from a costume designer, a ghost who designs clothes for Halloween, and probably they would eat a lot. Maybe there would be a cook who can cook special food for Halloween, and also they would celebrate a party with dance, with music, a DJ, and as ghosts are active on night, so they would probably be celebrating at midnight. So maybe at on yeah. So yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pooja. Is there anybody else who would like to volunteer for the next topic? It's quite simple. If there are any guests available, you can volunteer. Okay, I would like to call upon guest Mohanapriya to attempt the next topic.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm not available on video.
If someone had spoken, just can you repeat?
Yeah, I'm Mona Priya from Guest.
Yeah, would you like to attempt the next speech?
Table topic session, right? Yeah.
Yeah, what you'll have to do is that I'll give you a topic right now. You'll have to talk for 2 minutes in total.
Yeah,
It's
sure,
an
sure.
on-spot topic, and you can talk anything related to that topic.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. So do you think ghosts? You would have seen so many movies with so many ghosts in them. So do you think ghosts have associations and clubs like us? Let me repeat. Do you think ghosts have associations and clubs like us? Over to you, Toastmaster Mohan. Guest Mohan Priya.
Yeah, why not ghosts have association? If there are many ghosts, they would have in imagination they would have some association and plan to the purpose of the ghost is to achieve something, because they have some target to some people to afraid, or they have some set of target to achieve something, because only they are ghosts. So they have planned, and with the help of some other ghost also, they will achieve their plan, achieve their things to make it happen. So I guess in a maybe we have not seen that, but yes. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Mohanapriya. That was an amazing take on the topic. Would anybody like to volunteer for the next topic? Sashank, if you are available, why don't you go with the next topic? Okay, come on, guys. I'm a lone person in this lonely garden. You can pick some topics. Anyways, let me call upon Soumya from here for the next topic. The topic is, you are a ghost and you'll have to haunt your best friend. What will be your strategy to scare them? You are a ghost and you want to haunt your best friend. What would be your strategy to haunt them? Over to Soumya.
Yeah, thank you, Table Topics Master. The topic seems quite interesting. If I'm a ghost and I should haunt one of my best friends, how would I do that? Firstly, let me take, I'm in a hostel, for example. My best friend will always stay with me, right? So I should ensure that my plan isn't leaked, first of all. Keeping in mind that if there is a situation that I should haunt my best friend, it might be kind of revenge I should take or something like that. Something mysterious has happened and I want to haunt my best friend. So since I am a ghost and I want to convey that I miss her or something like that. Since I'm a ghost, she don't know that, she can't believe that, right? So I'll try to come up with a strategy like while she slept, I'll try to do some sounds such that she'll wake up and she'll ensure that she'll be a bit scared and so, I'll try to do it night long such that she won't get relaxed or she won't sleep such that I'll be able to haunt and take my revenge on. That's it. Thank you, David.
Thank you so much, Soumya. We'll just wait 1 minute for the train to pass. Okay. The train has passed. Would anybody like to volunteer for the next one? Anybody on the other side? Okay, let me call Toastmaster Rupa for the next topic. The topic: if humans are scared of ghosts, what do you think ghosts are scared of? If humans are scared of ghosts, what do you think ghosts are scared of? Over to you, Toastmaster Rupa.
Over smart humans. That's what ghosts are scared of. So there are two kinds of humans: the normal humans and then the over smart humans. The normal humans just like perceive life as it is around them, just like make assumptions for things that happened around them and don't like question things too much. So they just go with the flow, to use that phrase. But what the over smart humans do is they like question each and everything. And if something happens around them, they have to find out why that happened. For instance, one over smart human would be like Newton having that apple falling on him and like discovering gravity and making our physics portions like hell. So I think that is what ghosts would be like scared of. Because if you had a normal human experience a ghost, and the normal human would just get scared and run away and probably not come out of his house for the next 2 days, but then get over it. But if the over smart human were to experience a ghost, they would probably try to dissect what was going on and how this like dead human person got converted into a ghost and like achieved immortality, to use that phrase, and like continued existing. And then after they did this, to dissect this whole concept of ghost itself, they'll have to like trap a ghost and then like subject them to scientific torture and like dissect them and like perform experiments on them and then figure out what's going on. And once they figure out what's going on, they'll probably also find a way to exterminate the ghost or convert all humans into ghosts so that they can achieve immortality. So that will lead to like two problems. One, the ghosts themselves could die, or two, the ghost world could get like overcrowded with like over enthusiastic humans. So I think what ghosts would be scared of or should be scared of is over smart humans. Back to the table topics, Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rupa. So I think ghosts should be scared of you people. Moving ahead, we have two more topics. Would anybody like to volunteer for one? Okay, why don't Toastmaster Kaushalya volunteer for this one? Hi, Toastmaster Kaushalya. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Awesome. So you are going on a walk along with your friend. Your friend points out to one particular location and tells you that she was buried there. What will you do? You are on a walk with your friend. She points out to one particular location and tells you that she was buried there. What would you do? Over to you, Toastmaster Kaushalya.
So much for that crazy topic. So when I'm out for a walk with my friend and she tells me this thing, I will definitely not be surprised for a moment that I know she is crazy as I am. So I would not be surprised in the first place and ask her if something is wrong and she wants me to do something for her, do some favor for her. And then I just keep questioning her on the same thing. And if she turns out to be supernatural or if she is a ghost in itself, I am not surprised at first, and I try to figure out what's wrong with her. And if I find out that she's definitely a ghost, I call her, I take her to the place where she was buried. I go there, find out if her body is there. And if it's there, I would definitely stab her with a knife or whatever that I have, with all that anger that I had on her. I know it sounds very crazy that I'm not a murderer of my own best friend, but then, yeah, if she's a ghost and she's already buried there, I will only do that. And then I don't know what is, and then maybe I like her as a ghost itself. I make use of all her supernatural powers to finish my work, maybe accomplish all my works, write my assignments. I use all her supernatural powers to finish all my work, write assignments, and do my projects probably, and then spend time with her in a ghost itself, and probably transit with her to all the places, ask her to take me and show all her superpowers. So that is it, and over to the table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kaushalya. I hope this doesn't tempt you to turn your friend into a ghost. So we have one final topic. Who would like to take this topic? Anybody who's interested? All right. I'm going to invite Toastmaster Hari Prasant from here for the next topic. What superpower would you want as a ghost? What superpower would you want as a ghost? Thank you. I will over to Toastmaster Hari Prasant.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavesh, for this amazing topic. The superpower which I would be wanting as a ghost would be teleportation, because I have always admired that power as the one and only superpower. If we have that one and only superpower, now I am at Amrita Vishwavidyapitham. My house is in Colombo, Sri Lanka. Just by a fraction of seconds, I'll be able to travel to my home and see my parents and send some memories with them. And just another by a fraction of seconds, I'll be back to my room when warden checks the room whether I am there or not. So I think it would be the best superpower. In addition to that, I'll be also wanting the flying power, because ever since the beginning of the human life, humans have always wondered, will humans be able to fly? There were so many inventions. Even we can say that airplane, but none of them flown on their own without any equipment. So I feel that's where the humans are lagging. So if I have that flying power also, that would be far more great than it, I guess. Thank you. Over to the tabletop general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bhavesh, for that really crazy table topic session. So we have come to the end of this session, and the most awaited part of today's meeting is the evaluation session, where we find out what our errors are and our areas of improvement. For that, before I present my report, I would like to call all the individual evaluators. I would like to call Toastmaster Rupa to present her evaluation for Toastmaster Grishma.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kaushalya. Good evening to one and all present here, and a special good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Grishma. Congratulations, Toastmaster Grishma, on having completed your very first speech in Toastmasters today, the icebreaker. Let's jump right into the positives of your speech. The first thing that struck me when I listened to your speech was your clarity. You did not at all sound like a first-time speaker who was taking to the stage. Rather, you had a very calm and clear voice that conveyed the meaning very clearly to the audience. You also started the speech with a very nice introduction about parallel universes and about how our choices decided what directions our life took. And then another thing that I noticed in your speech was that your pace was very comfortable and your speech was well paced throughout. You had the same pace, very apt and optimal pace throughout your speech. And also you were extremely comfortable on stage. So the positives of your speech, I would say, were the script, your pace, clarity, and comfort levels. Your script started with this small introduction about parallel universes, and then went back to how your school life was, how your family was, and then on towards how you took engineering and all the struggles you faced in engineering and how you overcame them. You did not stop your script there, but you also brought the script back to what you started with, that is parallel universes, and told us how your choices have made you this version of Grishma that you are. If I were to suggest improvements for you to challenge yourself, the first thing I would suggest you work on is eye contact. Because throughout your speech, I had the feeling that you were looking at the lens through the one side of your eye, and this had a very negative impact on your eye contact. If you could try and directly look into the camera while you're delivering your speech, then that will greatly improve the impact that you leave on the audience. The second thing that I suggest you work on in all your future speeches is to try and deliver your speeches while standing, because this will allow you to use greater body language and work on your gestures better. So to wrap up, you had great comfort level, clarity, and pace, and you also scripted your speech very well. To challenge yourself, work on your eye contact and gestures. Back to the general evaluation.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rupa, for that very crisp and detailed evaluation. Up next, I would like to call Toastmaster Mridula to present her evaluation for Toastmaster Shyam.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kausalya. Can you please confirm if I'm audible? Because my
Yes,
network
you are.
quality is... Sure. Thank you. So first of all, Toastmaster Shyam, congratulations on finishing level 1 project 2. You gave an amazing speech. So now I hope you can relax and, just sit back and enjoy. And yeah, I'll give my evaluation now. So, to focus on your positives, you had very good content. The introduction, the body and the conclusion were very well scripted. And it was a wonderful title, it was well chosen. And I did not really expect that when you said learning and learn, that you'll actually talk about learning. I thought it was about something else. And I was actually kind of surprised there. So that's well done. And I love how you gave, can you hear me? Was someone speaking?
Yeah, you're audible. You can carry on.
Okay, sure. So I love how you gave very good examples of how you can improve students being more active and engaging in classes, like role play. And you also gave examples like Gandhi's Dandi March, like Salt Walk and all, which is very good. When you're giving a speech, it's important that you give examples so that the audience can feel more connected. And that is a very good choice you've taken. And yeah, and one more thing is that you actually stood for your speech. Generally people don't prefer standing up while giving a speech in online mode, right? And that's, as Rupa said, it's very good that you've chosen that. And as for areas of improvement, initially you seemed a little bit nervous, but then slowly as the speech went on, you seemed like, you were more confident. I guess that's a good thing. And the way you were facing to the laptop or the screen, it kind of looked like you were not standing opposite to the light. So I think it'll be better for us to see you. Like when you were moving a little, we could not properly see your face because of the reflection. So I guess it'll be better if you stand opposite to the light. And initially I thought that, it will be better if you use bigger sentences. Like you said, I had biryani for lunch and then we had class like that. So you can just combine few sentences and not make them so short. Other than that, it was a very good speech and, it was well chosen topic and good content. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Kausalya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mridula, for that amazing evaluation. Next, I would like to call my tag team to present their reports. First, I would like to call the timer to present his report. Over to Toastmaster Hari Prashant.
Greetings once again. I'll be submitting my timer's report now. We had two prepared speakers. Number one, Toastmaster Grishma. She spoke for 5 minutes and 46 seconds. And Toastmaster Shyam spoke for 6 minutes and 17 seconds. And we had so many speakers for table topic session. First, Toastmaster Kushagra spoke for 1 minute and 27 seconds. Toastmaster Priyadarshini spoke for 56 seconds. Toastmaster Grishma spoke for 1 minute and 4 seconds. Toastmaster Shyam spoke for 44 seconds. Toastmaster Venumada spoke for 1 minute and 17 seconds. Toastmaster Pooja spoke for 1 minute and 4 seconds. Yes, Mohan Raja spoke for 33 seconds. Toastmaster Soumya spoke for 1 minute and 1 second. And Toastmaster Rupa spoke for 1 minute and 43 seconds. And Toastmaster Kaushilya spoke for 1 minute and 41 seconds. And Toastmaster Hariprashan myself spoke for 1 minute and 1 second. We had 2 individual evaluation sessions. Toastmaster Rupa delivered her individual evaluation sessions for 2 minutes and 17 seconds. And Toastmaster Mridula spoke for 2 minutes 24 seconds. Thank you. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hari. Next, I call the R counter Toastmaster Pooja to present the report.
Hello again. So here's my report. Today my report is pretty random. So Toastmaster Yash used 2 and 2 hours. Toastmaster Bhavesh used 1 hour, and guest Priyadashini used 4 hours, and Toastmaster Venu Madhav used 2 and 2 hours. Toastmaster Mridula used 3 hours, 2 and 2 hours, and Toastmaster Hari Prashant used 2 hours. And both the speakers used very few filler words. Kudos for that. Toastmaster Shyam used some repetitive words, and Toastmaster Grishma used 2 hours and 3 hours. Thank you. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pooja. Next, I would like to call the grammarian for today's meeting, Toastmaster Yash, to present his report. Over to you, Toastmaster Yash.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Kaushilya. It was a very good time listening to all your speakers, and it was very good. A lot of good usage of grammars also I found. And moving on with the, first of all, there was nobody used the word of the day. So we'll try to use it in the upcoming sessions. Coming on to the good usage of grammar, first starting out with Toastmaster Vanishri, she used decom, that is etiquette, and meaning is etiquette, and adjourn, that is pull off or postpone something. Coming on to Toastmaster Bhishma, she used daunting crossroad, which is very much suiting to her sentence she was speaking. That is dark paths past, that is in forest, how it showcases the dark paths or the roadways. In such a manner, she just contrasted with her experience. And then there was chaos used by her, which is confused. Now coming on to Toastmaster Shyam, he used resonated, that is to correspond to someone very closely, which was very adequate to what the sentences he was using. And he used monotonous, or that is a continuous sound. Monotonous, like it's in when a person just continuously speak. Example is me. I just go on in a straight graph manner. I don't take a dip when I'm speaking to somebody. Whereas proper speech would be when you take a dip and then proceed on. So it was monotonous is nothing but you're speaking in a straight line. You are just not taking up pauses. Now coming on to the incorrect usages, I won't say it's an incorrect usage, but there could be an improvement in it. So I chose at night times instead of day times. Like has been can be that had been according to the situation. Speaker was telling how to be good with others, how to behave with others. The main thing, the purpose, make others scared, panic others, and mostly often. Previous to. These are all the sentences which could be better in that particular like these are the words which could be better used in those sentences. I differ from. And there is a special mention that many times everybody use this actually, including me. We use as a filler, but this should be used at the beginning, at the end of the sentence, or before a verb. So actually, like for example, actually I can't make it tonight, but normally we use it as a filler many times. So that in order that we can use, I was told, I have been told, you always should, you should always, they will be understanding, they will understand, or they will begin to understand. I can't able to do that, I can't do that, or I am not able to do that. And then each and everyone, or each one of them, we can call it. It would be better. That particular that, in particular that. Because only, if only because. And we use this word like normal humans or average, like it's correct like normal humans, or we can call it ordinary humans better, because sometimes we can relate the normal humans to average humans, or extraordinary humans, and it goes in other classification manners. So we can prefer using ordinary humans. Even then, there is no issue in using a normal human or ordinary human. Can happen or can happening, or it should be replaced with can happen. In the end, finally, at the end, at the end, we use end of a specific noun. It should be used like physical object or a particular time period. Like in the end should be used at the final of some statement, and at the end should be used like for any physical objects or a period of time. At that time we can use at the end. And opposite to the light, facing the light. And a common usage which we do is we use this guys in an informal meeting. Why we should not use this? That in till 16,000 or 17th century, this guy named Guy Fawkes. So he was a gunpowder plot. He was a criminal actually in English Parliament 1605. This particular year, he had done something bad. Like he was trying to blast this in November 5. You might have heard this. Remember the 5th of November. This is based on his particular quote, his company. So he was considered a very bad person at that time. So even you might have seen his faces coming in like Joker picture or something like that. Hackers might use it. So he's the one that Guy Fawkes. So Guy Fawkes. So this word generally in 17th or 18th century, if you speak, people would see it as something which is bad. You are noticing them as a bad person, or you have done something bad. So still there are people who consider it not that good. So if we are interacting with people, it's fine. But if we are presenting it like some presentation or informal speech, we can avoid using guys and we can use friends or something else. That's it from my speech. Over to Toastmaster Kaushal.
So much, Toastmaster, yes, for this meticulous report. I believe now that people would stop using the word guys even in informal meetings, because now that he's given us the history of the word guys, and probably we should definitely take it and stop using the word guys. Thank you so much, Tag Team, for that really amazing report. Now that I'll be presenting my general evaluation report. I was really happy, and it feels really attractive and alluring that the environment of the college itself is so nice that we have a hybrid meeting today. So kudos to all of us for that. It's really amazing that we started the meeting on time despite having a hybrid meeting, and this meeting setup was completely fine. We had the role takers were correctly introduced, and the education session took place really well, and the guest was also introduced. The table topic master had a really good and creative topic to present, and all the guests were also invited to take part in the topic. The tag team was also called upon and introduced well, and they presented their report right in time. The prepared speakers were also called upon and introduced, and they presented their speeches without any distractions at all. The transaction of the meeting was also held well, and the meeting was all over a very good one. Coming to the improvements that has to be made, we had it's completely understandable that we had a hybrid meeting today for the very first time, but then the meeting was a little clumsy at the other end. Club members seemed to be moving, keeping the videos on, and there were a lot of distractions and conversations in between the members while presenting the roles as well. So that can be avoided. Maybe it will definitely be rectified the next time we have a hybrid meeting. But I believe we have a proper understanding of the setup next time, and hope this doesn't happen. And coming next, the agenda was not properly filled for this meeting. It's definitely disappointing that the agenda, there were a lot of last minute changes, and we also did not have a TMOD for today's meeting. And I hope all the members take initiative to fill in the agenda and actively participate in all the meetings, because it's definitely not nice to not have a TMOD, and last minute changes can be avoided to the maximum. And up next, so the meeting, we can work on organizing the meeting really well, and the transactions could have been better. I would also suggest the table topic master to introduce the role in detail so that it facilitates the guests to take part in the sessions and helps them understand what the session is all about. I encourage all the guests to actively participate in the table topic session. And it is also I recommended that all of the members turn on your videos, because I saw there weren't many who turned on their videos during today's meeting, and it would be really lively and attractive to see everyone turning on their videos, and it would be really nice and engaging as well. And also, the secretary is supposed to read the minutes of meetings in the beginning of the meeting, but that does not happen today in today's meeting. So I request all the members to go through the agenda, and I take it as the responsibility of the secretary to inform all the members in prior to take a note of the agenda and see to that we do not miss up on any agenda or any sessions in the meeting. So that is it for my general evaluation report, and I hand over the stage to the presiding officer. Over to you, Toastmaster Bhavesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kaushalya, and thank you for that detailed report. We'll ensure that we have the secretary's MOM session the next time. Okay, today's meeting was amazing. For one reason, it was really amazing because I have this gavel in my hand. I can do whatever I want. Number two, we have a gathering around here. We are around 7 members, along with some senior members who were able to join us today. This offline setup is really good. We had initial troubles, but now we've kind of settled and it's really good. I really hope you guys join here as soon as possible. So before we go ahead and end this meeting, why don't we all turn our cameras on for a group click? You guys can come here. Toastmaster Kaushalya, can you click and say if we all are good?
Yeah, sure.
Wait, it says wall. I'm bringing phone. I'm bringing phone. Come here. Oh yeah, it takes here. Are we visible? Look at me. Yeah, a bit different. It's super. Hey, my Tamil are telling me to go down. Am I visible now? Yeah. Three dialogue to come down.
Kaushalya, can you click a picture?
Yeah, I'm doing that. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Let me come back. I hope you guys had fun, and I hope you guys come here as soon as possible, and we all can together have an offline meeting. So with that, I end meet number 211 close. I declared meet number 211 close. Thank you, and if you guys have any feedback, feel free to talk about it or feel free to disconnect. You can end the recording.
Thanks a lot, Kausalya, for